जहांगीर तरीन का अली जफर की रिपोर्ट सामने लाने और उस पर एक्शन लेने का मुतालबा। अदालत में पेशी पर मीडिया से गुफ्तगू करते हुए कहा, हमारे साथ सियासत नहीं, इंसाफ किया जाए। कयास राइयां हैं कि रिपोर्ट वजीर आजम को पेश कर दी गई। अपना केस लड़ रहा हूँ, अली जफर की रिपोर्ट का इंतजार है। उधर जाली बैंक अकाउंट्स का केस में लाहौर सेशन कोर्ट ने जहांगीर तरीन और अली तरीन की अबूरी जमानत में 11 जून तक तौसीह कर दी। कोरोना का जोर कम होते ही तालीमी सरगर्मियां बहाल। इस्लामाबाद, पंजाब और केपी में आज से 10वीं और 12वीं की क्लासेस शुरू हो गईं। एक दिन में 50% तलबा की हाजिरी की इजाज़त। असातिज़ा और एजुकेशन स्टाफ की वैक्सीनेशन के लिए बड़े फैसले। अलग सेंटर्स बनाने के साथ वॉक इन सहूलत दी जाएगी। मुल्क भर में कोरोना के केसेस में कमी का सिलसिला जारी। 24 घंटे में 2117 नए केसेस रिपोर्ट हुए। एक दिन में मजीद 43 मरीज दम तोड़ गए। फाल केसेस की तादाद 59,033 तक पहुंच गई। मुल्क भर में मुस्बत केसेस की शरह 4.05 रही। पीडीएम अवाम के लिए खड़ी होती तो हुकूमत गिरा चुकी होती। अपोजिशन पाक फौज को कहती है मुंतखब हुकूमत को गिरा दो। वजीर आजम इमरान खान का एक बार फिर हिज़्ब इख्तिलाफ को एनआरओ ना देने का ऐलान। अवाम से टेलीफोन पर बराह रास्त बात करते हुए कहा कि अब ये लोग बजट में भी कोशिश करेंगे मगर किसी सूरत कामयाब नहीं होंगे। पीडीएम में वापसी नहीं, बिलावल ने पोजीशन क्लियर कर दी। चारसदा में एएनपी रहनुमाओं के हमरा मीडिया से गुफ्तगू में बोले, पीडीएम अपने अहदाफ से हट चुकी, इसके साथ चलना मुश्किल है। पीडीएम कल कंफ्यूज नजर आई। इनके इजलास में कोई वाज़ेह हिकमत अमली सामने नहीं आई। अवलीन कोशिश है अवाम दुश्मन बजट किसी कीमत पर मंजूर ना होने दिया जाए। शहबाज शरीफ का नून लीग की इकनॉमिक एडवाइजरी काउंसिल से खिताब। कहा, हुकूमत के माशी दादोशुमार सिर्फ धोखा है। माशी गलत बयानी कौम के मुस्तकबिल से खेलने के मुतरादिफ है। 11 साल बाद पाकिस्तानियों के लिए कुवैत का वीज़ा बहाल। वज़ीर दाखिला शेख रशीद की कुवैती वज़ीर आज़म से मुलाकात। पाकिस्तान और कुवैत के दरमियान फैमिली और बिजनेस वीज़ा फौरी बहाल करने का फैसला। पाकिस्तान वर्कर्स को मुआहदे के मुताबिक कुवैती वीज़ा जारी होगा। अस्सलामुअलैकुम, एक्सप्रेस न्यूज़ के साथ मैं हूं सदफ दुरानी। हेडलाइंस आपने जानी, अब तक के लिए इतना ही। मज़ीद खबरों और तफसीलात के लिए विजिट कीजिए हमारी वेबसाइट express.pk। इसके अलावा आप हमें फेसबुक और ट्विटर पर भी फॉलो कर सकते हैं। तो रहिए खबर से बाखबर एक्सप्रेस न्यूज़ के साथ।
To get money from his friends and found out the hole was too big. So he had to go to the IMF. Unlike 2008 when I went to the IMF, when people were friendly to us, the countries were friendly to us because war on terror, and we got a very useful package which was almost 6 times our quota. This time around, IMF was very tough. I think they were not, obviously, given the geopolitical situation around us, the countries who influenced, the major Western powers. So this IMF program was tough and front-loaded. The interest rates, the discount rate was raised to 13.25% when the core inflation was 7%. Frankly, I have a problem because discount rates don't manage food inflation. Core inflation was 7% and overall inflation of a little over 10%, where the rest was food inflation. I think IMF mandating us to go to 13.25% was an overkill. which cost us hundreds of billions of rupees. They also made us do a steep devaluation of our rupee. There were sharp increases in electricity, gas, and other tariffs to bring down the circular debt flows. Well, this was for stabilization of the economy. Obviously, the growth rate, went down, and we're looking at around 1.5, 1.9% growth. But then COVID happened, and COVID pushed this growth to negative territory, 0.5%. The government just did well, introduced a fiscal stimulus, gave people, the needy people, some money, cash, and it was very efficiently done by the Ehsaas program. There was a liquidity stimulus by the State Bank of Pakistan for the business sector, whether large, small, and then Prime Minister, I think, did a great job by introducing the construction package, because he realized that construction is one industry which not only just brings in a lot of labor to work, but also supports around 42 industries on its own. And by giving them the incentives, he would at least pump up some kind of economic activity. Economy started to stabilize. Current account deficit, actually was curtailed, and in the recent year, it is in a surplus. But economic growth was negative. It started recovering this year as the large-scale manufacturing started to pick up, exports started to pick up, agriculture, major crops were, very robust, except cotton, and services sector, started to pick up alongside the housing. Not only this happened, but as the economy picked up, we have seen the revenues of the government also started to pick up. This month, they will cross 4 trillion rupees for the first time in the history of Pakistan, and probably will be closer to 4.2. We see a 3.94% growth in the economy. Well, people predicted start of this fiscal that'll probably be between 1.5% to 3%, but I think we are hitting around 3.94%. But this is where we are today. So you want to hear what are we going to do going forward? I think what we want is an inclusive and sustainable growth over a long period of time. As Humayun said, the East Asian economies such as Turkey, they achieved a certain level of economic, prosperity through a inclusive and sustainable growth. So, as he said that, we have never had sustainable growth for a long period of time except in the 60s. So when I just came in, I just got some eminent economists together. We had an EAC, Economic Advisory Council, but out of that Advisory Economic Council, we had few eminent economists led by Dr. Ishrat Hussain, and I requested them to find out why don't we have an inclusive and sustainable growth over a long period of time? What causes us to break the cycle? So they are working on it. By the next week, we'll probably have a very comprehensive answer. But then we also tasked the Economic Advisory Council to work with the government in 12 sectors of the economy, and give us short-term, medium and long-term plans how to grow these sectors. We do not have the resources to, cover all the sectors, but we are focused now. And I'm talking about major sectors like, fiscal side. We're talking about, the agriculture, manufacturing, power sector, financial sector, housing, all those major sectors. We said, now you please give us some way forward. And this is the first time that we'll be doing this. Because after the 60s, when we used to have a very powerful planning commission,